You are now tuned into the Team Lonely Child Boxing Podcast. Better watch out, better watch out, better watch out.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to Team Lonely Child Boxing, keeping it real boxing, everything boxing. Woo! We got a lot to get into today. So we're just going to take our time because there's a lot to bust down today, man. Whole lot to get into, a whole lot to break down, a whole lot of, things we got to, address. First, for starters, as we all know, the biggest event of the weekend was Canelo Alvarez. Boxing's biggest attraction made his return to the ring against Billy Joe Saunders. And a lot of people got mixed emotions about the fight. A lot of people got different views of the fight. But at the end of the day, a punch to the eye caused the fight to end. And we all got different interpretations of whether Billy Joe quit, or was his eye really just that bad that he couldn't continue? So first let's get into this part of it. For the most part, at the beginning, it looked like it was going to be a quick night. The way Canelo was coming at him and the way Canelo was chopping at him, and Canelo was throwing every punch with murderous intent, and it didn't look like Billy Joe was doing anything to stop his attack. So at first, it didn't look like the fight was going to last that long. But then, after some time went by, we then saw, Billy Joe started to get into a little bit of a rhythm, started to make Canelo miss a lot, started, landing some pretty decent shots and all that. And then, it looked like, we were starting to get what could be an interesting fight. And then just like that, a punch to the eye and it was over. Let me say this. For those that say Canelo looked great, or for those that say Canelo did bad, sometimes you're not gonna look tremendous against every opponent. Some opponents will give you problems. For those that's tapping in, man, put your comments in the comment section, man. We'll definitely, so I can shout you out and definitely, answer whatever questions you may have. But yeah, like I say, for Billy Joe was starting to make him miss a lot. Billy Joe was starting, but the problem I had, okay, first, my problem with Billy Joe is he never committed to the cause. He was making a miss and he was, landing some punches, but it was all taps. No real punches with authority, no shots to even try to back Canelo up. He never tried to hurt Canelo. He never tried to, commit to the fight. He wanted to outbox Canelo, and I get that. But, after a while, when you realize you can't make it, it's not a deal that you make with the opponent. Like, okay, if you don't hit me hard, I won't hit you hard. No, Canelo was throwing every punch with murderous intent, and you're just tapping. We needed to see more. If you're going to just box on the outside, or either that, you got to let your hands go. You got to throw punches and bunches. You got to do something to upset what he's doing, because the way it was going, he didn't make, to me, it just didn't look like Billy Joe was really trying to make a concerted effort to win the fight. He definitely was in the fight. He was definitely was making some things happen in the fight, but it just looked like Billy Joe was doing all he could to survive. You know. So, but after a while, like I said, the punch to the eye did end the fight. And to me, I'm just gonna give my opinion. To me, I'm on the side that said he quit. We seen fighters with busted eyes before. We seen fighters continue with both eyes closed. We seen fighters deal with nasty cuts. We seen things. We seen fighters go the distance. We seen fighters win fights with massive injuries to the eye. Said, oh man, you starting out like that. We're gonna get into all that though. We're gonna get into all that. Woo, he came in strong, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So as you know, he got the victory via stoppage. To me, like I said, I think Billy Joe quit. But now the press conference. Boo Boo Andre comes into the press conference and he's asking about why can't he get the fight with Canelo. I ain't gonna hold y'all, bro. I love Boo Boo, but I ain't gonna front. He got clown, Shawty. That was crazy. That was crazy. You know what I mean? He tell a man, you fight nobody. You fight nobody. You fight nobody. You're a horrible fighter. You're a horrible fighter. I mean, you know what I mean? Canelo was clowning him serious. Some of you, hey, you want a payday? You want a payday? I ain't gonna front. Boo Boo, he got out on you that time. He sunned him. He sunned you that time, Boo Boo. You got sunned. But at the same time, let's bust down this situation because everybody got a difference of opinion of what's really going on between Boo Boo Andre and Canelo Alvarez. But see, here's the thing. You got to tell the whole story. For everybody on your platform, please tell the whole story. Boo Boo Andre and Canelo Alvarez was together at 154 pounds. They were both world champions at 154 pounds. What you disagree about? What do you disagree about? Tell me what you disagree about. Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Or you disagree about Boo Boo getting sunned or getting clowned or what you think? Speaking of that, in the midst of that, Boo Boo's father was kind of getting in the mix of it, all that. Because see, here's what I've seen this before. For those that be around fighters and all that, for those that be around fighters and things like that, y'all gotta let the fighters talk. Because Boo Boo was in the midst of saying some stuff to Canelo, but because his father was going back and forth with Canelo, you kind of got drowned out. Because see, what Boo Boo was trying to allude to was, hey man, you saying I ain't fought nobody, but what about all these other fighters you fought that haven't fought nobody? See what I'm saying? Because and speaking of that, like I said, why does Charlo and Boo Boo have to do different things to get a fight with Canelo other than everybody else? I'm not a Canelo hater. I'm not. I mean, I give the man his due. He's a great fighter. He is the biggest attraction in boxing, but let's hold him accountable the same way we will hold everybody else that we put on that level accountable. Because the fact of the matter is, the thing is this: these two fighters were together at one weight class at 154 pounds. And let's talk about the 150. Because see, when we want to tell the story, let's tell the whole story. Let's tell the whole story. At 154 pounds, when Canelo was a champion at 154 and Boo Boo and all of them was there, he spent more time fighting welterweights. Let's call it what it is. I'm not saying it was a bad thing, not saying it wasn't the right thing. I'm not saying any of that, but what I'm saying is at 154, he fought Josito Lopez. He fought Floyd. We get it. That's the money fight. He fought Shane. He fought Carmen Cintron. He fought Josito Lopez. I may have said Josito already, but y'all get what I'm saying. He fought several welterweight champions as well. So I'm saying, so not only so when he left 154, he only had one belt. He never unified that belt. Boo Boo Andre and the Chalo brothers and all of them was up there. He goes to 160. So let's go. You go to 160. You fought Miguel Cotto, another welterweight that moved up. Fine. But you fought Miguel Cotto. Amir Khan. So what I'm saying is, let's look at Liam Smith. All of these people, none of them did nothing special to get a Canelo fight. So why does Boo Boo Andre and Jamal Charlo got to do something? Why do they got to do something other than be world champions? They were world champions at 154. They were world champions at 160. So all I'm saying is this. I'm not knocking nothing. I'm just saying If we're gonna be consistent, and we're gonna and we're and we all and we're gonna be consistent, and we're gonna tell the truth, you got to tell the whole story. These guys was champions with him in two different weight classes, and still haven't got a shot. And there's guys out there who haven't done none of half of what they did, and they got their shot. So all I'm saying is there's no excuse for them not getting a shot other than he sees maybe big, bigger money with other fighters. If that's your excuse, let that be your excuse. But don't say they don't deserve to fight because all these other people got to fight without it. Roger Felding, what did he do? What did Colin Smith do? What did Yilderman do? You know what I'm saying? These are guys that got shots. So let's not do that. But moving forward, we got a lot to push down. I want to know for y'all in the comment section, do y'all think Caleb Plant is ready? Because Caleb Plant is who they asking for next. They want a unification bout with Caleb Plant. Is Caleb Plant ready? And then the question is this even the right fight for boxing? Is this the right fight for boxing? I know it's a lot of people that think Caleb Plant is great, and I'm not knocking Caleb Plant. I do think Caleb Plant is a good fighter. But is he ready for this moment right now? He hasn't even been a world champion that long. He's only had like maybe one or two title defenses. He hasn't been a world champion that long. So how is this the right fight for the pound for pound best fighter in the world that y'all saying is, an all-time great and all that? How is Caleb Plant, the young Caleb Plant, only with maybe one or two title defenses under his belt, should he be in the ring with Canelo right now? And why should he be in the ring with him versus a Boo Andre, versus a Jamal Charlo? You know what I mean? These are questions I just want to know what y'all think. I mean, I don't think Caleb's ready. I don't think Caleb's ready. I think he got the talent, Bring on all of you. But here's the thing. Now, let's look at it this way. Here's the flip card. Here's the flip card with that, though. Here's the flip card with that situation, though. Now, Caleb Plant is up. The ball is strictly in Caleb Plant's court. Now, the funny thing about that press conference that a lot of people ain't paying attention to that don't catch on, notice that Eddie Hearn is up there with Canelo. And Eddie is up there telling like Boo Boo, like go ahead and leave, like to get out and all that. But after this fight is over, Eddie Hearn is not Canelo's promoter. He's Boo Boo's promoter. You know what I'm saying? He's not Canelo's promoter. He's Boo Boo's promoter. Canelo has a one-fight deal. So if he does fight Caleb Plant, it's not being broken through a deal with Eddie Hearn. He's going to be talking strictly to PBC. So the ball is in PBC's court right now in terms of the Canelo sweepstakes. Because if he wants Caleb Plant or somebody with that title, then the ball now is on PBC can put together a package for Caleb Plant and Canelo. Now, that right there is interesting. I want to see how that plays out. Or does Eddie Hearn try to sneak away to sign a deal with Canelo to bring Caleb Plant to the zone, to fight on the zone? Let's see. But that's going to be an interesting little scenario right now because Canelo is a free agent. He doesn't have a promoter. He's not signed to the zone. So, he fought that fight on the zone because, of course, Eddie, probably, hey, man, I got a fight for you ready right now. You can fight Billy Joe Sanders right now. And, of course, Canelo was with that. You know what I mean? And let's just break it down. There's something about Boo Boo Andre. Y'all can say what you want. It's something about Boo Boo Andre that man does not want to fight him. Him, Oscar, and everybody connected to him, it's something about them guys that they don't want to fight him. We can say what you want to say. I'm not even going to say it's a duck. It's something about them that they don't like. And everybody, listen, this is what you got to learn about the sport of boxing. No matter how much you look at a fight and say they're amazing and they're great, and this person over here, he don't look that good. See, a fighter knows another fighter. See what I'm saying? See, a lot of fights happen where we thought this person was supposed to mop the floor with this person, or this person was supposed to get knocked out by this person, and then they end up losing because it's something he could do that one thing. It's that one thing that Canelo can't deal with, and that could be it. That could be the reason. That could be the reason why he don't want to fight Boo Boo or Charlo. I know one thing that Charlo has the ability to do that Canelo definitely don't like. Charlo has the ability. Exactly. Styles make fights. Exactly. Styles make fights. And a lot of people don't understand that. He may look good. He may look unbeatable. He may look impressive against this particular guy. And Boo Boo or Charlo may not be better than those guys he beat. They don't have to be, but they may do that one thing that they don't, that he can't deal with it. It's something about those guys. It's something that those guys do that him and his management and his training team don't want to deal with because they're easy fights that could be made. There's no other reason not to fight Jamal Charlo. There's no other reason not to fight Boo Boo Andre. Doesn't matter if they're not this and not that, but none of these other people are that. Yildirim wasn't that. Liam Smith wasn't that. None of these guys are this and that and the third. Billy Joe Sanders wasn't that. For real. What did Billy Joe Sanders do to get the fight? Billy Joe Sanders was supposed to fight Boo Boo Andre a couple years back. He got suspended for PEDs, came back, got suspended again for making disrespectful posts about women, and he still got the Canelo fight. He fought maybe, and he wasn't a champion at 168. He maybe got one title. He maybe won a vacant title at 168 and had one title defense. He wasn't even a real champion at 168, and he still got the fight. All we saying is this: stop with the excuses. Stop with shenanigans. There's a reason he's not fighting them two guys. You know what I mean? The public keeps asking for this fights over and over and over again. We will pay for the fights. We will fry chicken for the fights. It's a reason why these fights not happening. And I'm not a Canelo basher. I get a man his credit. He's boxing business attraction. But it's a reason why he's not fighting Boo Boo and Charlo. It's a reason. It's a reason why he's not fighting them guys. And it ain't just because they can't fight or they not that or he think they're not that good. He told the man he's boring. You know what I'm saying? He told him he's boring. He said, "You're boring." What does that mean? You're boring. Can you beat me? You know what I'm saying? But I do wish Boo Boo father would have fell back, man, because Boo Boo was about to see what needed to happen. We needed Boo Boo to say what he had to say. And we needed also to see Canelo's face when Boo Boo was going to say what he had to say, because that was going to tell us a whole lot more than what we got out of there. But the interruption happened. They had to get up out of there, man. You know what I mean? Yo, for those that's watching, man, put your comments in the comment section, man. Let's chop it up, man. Moving on. Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Was it staged? Was it not staged? At this point, it don't matter. The fact that half of America is debating whether it was staged and whether or not, whatever took place that day, it did its job, because now it sold the fight. The fight is being sold. You know what I'm saying? Which is all they're after. Which is all Floyd and Jake Paul and Logan Paul are after. They're just trying to get people to watch and make money. That's their whole MO. You know what I'm saying? They get you to watch and for them to make money. And for everybody that's mad, oh, they messing up boxing. No, they not. Because celebrity boxing been going on since the beginning of time. This stuff been going on since forever. Even Muhammad Ali did it. Muhammad Ali got in the ring with Gorilla Monsoon. Muhammad Ali fought a kickboxer one time. They've all done it. This is not nothing new. Celebrity matches and celebrity stuff been going on all along. The problem is why it's hurt so bad now, because we're not getting the fights that we want to. And that's the problem. Now, listen, the problem with this is it's not necessarily the fighters. These promoters got huge egos. These promoters got hidden agendas. These promoters got certain people and certain different. Let's bust it down. Let's talk it real for a minute. It's certain demographics of people they don't want in the forefront. And this guy that's about to do this exhibition show, Floyd Mayweather, he's the star. And he's the reason why. They don't want another Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather changed the game. They don't want another Floyd. They don't really want another Oscar. They don't like what they did to the game. See, what Floyd and Oscar really did was this. Through Al Heyman, Floyd was able to take the power away from most promoters. He could walk in an arena and book an arena on his own. They don't like that. See, boxing didn't necessarily used to be like that, where the promoters could control every single thing. They want to take it back to that, but them days are gone. See what I'm saying? So that's what the problem is. They don't like them boys having that kind of power. But let's bring it back down to Jake Paul and this and that. Hey, listen, man, I ain't going to fake. Right now, Jake Paul is lit. He's lit. And they are putting him on steroids. This guy took a Floyd hat off. Now he's selling hats. Now he's selling hats all over the internet. He is laughing his way all the way to the bank. But see, for all you other fighters out there who put your whole life in this sport, take heed to what he's doing. I'm not saying betray yourself and do all this clown stuff, but see how he's finding different ways to keep his name in people's mouth. This is what y'all got to do. It's a new game now. So get in it. Get in it. Get in it. You know what I'm saying? Because we need these fights to happen. If you got to argue and fuss with your promoter and let Triller take and make if every fight go to a purse bid and got to go to Triller or go to purse bid so we can get these fights, then make the fights happen. But right now, Jake Paul and them are going to keep going. Jake Paul can get knocked out right now, and his star ain't going nowhere. For real. Y'all listen. Can you imagine this? He was at an MMA fight. He's at an MMA fight, and the crowd started yelling, "F Jake Paul, F Jake Paul." In the midst of that, Tom Brady looks up at the screen and sees Jake Paul is with Antonio Brown, and while they're yelling F Jake Paul, Tom Brady walks over there. What it looks like to everybody, he's walking to Jake Paul. He's really walking to Antonio Brown. But the whole clip is you see a clip of Antonio Brown, Jake Paul, and Tom Brady. Everything, even when stuff ain't going right for him, it's all adding up. If the big fights were happening, we wouldn't be talking about Jake Paul. I think we still would be. I'll be honest, James. I think we still would be. Listen, I like what he's doing, not for boxing. I like the fact that he's shaming those who we should be talking about. Maybe that's what it takes. I like the fact that the Paul brothers and all them people, like for crying out loud, Logan Paul, when he fought his fight, he lost. Logan Paul lost. He lost to KSI. Logan Paul lost, and he's fighting Floyd. So that tells you something. Jake Paul could get knocked out right now, and he's still a celebrity. They have made this man a celebrity. So listen, all you fighters out there that's mad, all you MMA fighters that's mad, take heed to them. Y'all need PR reps. Y'all need PR reps. Y'all need something to get yourself more out there so these fights can happen. Get the buzz going. If your promoter's not doing it for you, then get your buzz on your own. While we talking about promoters, let's bust down another fake narrative real quick. This is this whole Shawn Porter, Bud Crawford, and now Virgil Ortiz mandatory fight situation. So listen, that's what I do. Let's break down this mandatory situation. So listen, everybody, stop with the trying to push everything on one particular group. It's not one particular group's fault. There's enough blame to go around in this boxing game. We sat back and we watched. We all watched Eddie Hearn promise the world that Tyson Fury and AJ was a done deal. Dog, they promised the whole world this fight was signed, sealed, delivered. The only thing they was doing was waiting on a site. Now the fight is off. Why is the fight off? Does anybody know? The Paul brothers are simply entertaining. They are simply entertaining. They are. But sometimes when in place of the grit and in place of what you want, entertainment takes over. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to get both. We should be able to get entertainment and the best fights. We should be able to get both. So, see what I'm saying, which would simmer down because what this did. I want all the fighters out there, all fighters in the world, take heed to one thing. These old timers, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, the Paul brothers, now Floyd done swooped in. They're all showing y'all how to grind. You sat there and watched them make a bag. Mike Tyson came out of left field, put out one little video, slept in the bed for a week, and made a bag. Brought Roy Jones in, made a bag. Floyd is about to crash the bank with the Paul brothers in front of y'all while y'all sitting there talking about No, it's time for this stuff to stop. If your promoter ain't getting you what you want, then get a purse bid, do what you got. Do what Teofimo Lopez did. Get out the deal. Do what Canelo Alvarez just did. Get out the deal. If your promoter ain't getting you what you want. Bud Crawford, you need to get out that deal. Get out the deal. See what I'm saying? But back to that particular topic. Listen, Shawn Porter for 5 months was talking about this mandatory situation. He's been talking about this mandatory situation since the Earl Spence fight in December. He's been talking about this mandatory situation. He clearly said on several shows, on the air, on several shows, he said, I'm not going to exercise the mandatory position until I physically talk to Bud. He sent Bud a tweet. Bud responded to him. Bud didn't really like the tweet because Bud said, you trying me, don't do me like that. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Joel? What's up, Jacob? James? My man Carlton, appreciate all y'all being in here. You know what I mean? Boxing the DC group, baby. I'm telling y'all, all y'all out here, I don't know what you got to do to get in this group, but boxing the DC group, get in it. It's lit. The best boxing group I ever been in. Just put it out there like this. And I appreciate everything y'all do. But back to this thing. Shawn Porter's been talking about this mandatory situation too long. And to be honest with you, I don't know what type of friendship that him and Bud got. I don't know what type of what's going on? What's up, y'all? What's up, George? What's up, Joel? Appreciate y'all tapping in. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Boxing the DC, we up in here. Listen, I don't know what type of friendship that him and Bud Crawford got. I don't. I really don't know what type of group. I really don't know what type of friendship they got because look, you're fighters. Fighting is what you do. Just tell the man you want to fight him. You should have exercised the Mando, got everything on and popping, and you've been good. But for some odd reason, he wanted to wait on Bud. Bud never got back to him. So then they slid him out the mandatory and put Virgil Ortiz in there. The only thing Shawn said was, hey, man, I got people I got to answer to, too. And everybody took that and ran around Robin Hood Brown. Oh, Al Heyman is the reason why the fight didn't happen. Al Heyman had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman had nothing to do with it. What's up, Mr. Johnson? How y'all doing out there, man? How y'all doing? While y'all in here, man, if there's something else y'all want to talk about, anything hot, anything boxing, put it in the comment section. We'll chop it up right now, man. You know what I mean? Because we all must agree. This ain't what we came up on. I mean, listen, I fell in love with this sport, man, years and years ago, man. I remember it was a time you couldn't walk in the barbershop without talking about boxing. I mean, listen, we had a barbershop, man, that had a stack of videos from the wall to the ceiling, all around the wall, man. So if anybody came in and talking about boxing, you had to back up what you said because we threw that videotape in there and go. I mean, man, I remember coming home, man, watching old fight tapes, man, and just sit home. I could come home from work, get a bag of popcorn, and watch boxing all night. But this mess that's going on now, this stuff that's going on now, is crazy. It's literally crazy. But at the same time, we still love her. We still love her. We not leaving her. So we might as well go ahead and talk about the things that we want to see because we're not leaving. We're not leaving. Listen, right now we got to get ready for another side show. It is what it is. We got to get ready. Look at Jake Paul and Logan Paul show off and run around town. Can you imagine being in a sport your whole life, working your butt off, and some guy who was on YouTube, you gotta open up for him. You know what I'm saying? You're on the undercard of him. You know what I mean? You're on his undercard. For all the work you put in, all the grind you put in, and you're on his undercard. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I mean? But y'all let that happen. Wisdom is to do the obvious. Now is the time to take your power back and be what we called you to do. See what I'm saying? Now is the time. You've never, like most fighters, y'all ain't never had an opportunity like this. But going forward right now, we don't know, like, okay, let's look at this. Do y'all think Plant versus Canelo fight is going to happen? Plant married to Miss PBC and the Zone can't do a co-promotion since they subscriber base. But see, that's the thing. That's a good question. I'm going to leave that there. But here's the thing about that. Canelo's not signed to the Zone. He had a one-fight deal. He had a one-fight deal with the Zone. He's not signed with the Zone. See what I'm saying? So Canelo can pretty much do what he wants to, unless he says he wanted Eddie to continue to represent him, but he's not signed to the Zone. So right now the ball is strictly in Caleb Plant and PBC court. See what I'm saying? I can tell you like this: the fight is going to happen unless Al looks up and says, you know what, I need to call a play and do something else, like let Caleb Plant fight Charlo or Benavidez and the winner fight Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He might need, if they don't think Caleb Plant is ready, because like right now, Caleb Plant, the ball is in your court. You can fight an undisputed super middleweight fight against Canelo Alvarez. now. And I'll be honest with a lot of people, these type of opportunities don't come very often to go to this buffet. Now, the question I got for y'all is, do you think Caleb Plant is ready? Because I do not think he is ready. And I I understand what you're saying about turning it into a shot show, but Caleb can beat Charlo. Caleb can beat Charlo. I think he's more ready than Billy Joe. I agree. I agree. I agree. Because Billy Joe was a hot mess in that ring. I was looking at I didn't know I didn't know what to expect when the fight started, but once the fight started and I was looking at how he was just slapping his punches, and I was like, what the world? Like, are you trying to win the fight? Like, I was confused with Billy Joe Sanders. I'm like, he's just slapping. Like, bro, like, listen, I don't get it. I'm just being honest. I don't know what they teach these fighters. I don't know what was going on in his corner. Like bro, okay, he's walking towards you throwing hard punches. You're slapping at him. So this what your first plan B is not working. So even when you was making a miss, you wasn't even hitting them with sharp counters. You wasn't even hitting them with hard counters. I mean, everybody was getting excited over a little pity pat here and there, and like he clearly could hit him with a clean shot, but it wasn't nothing on him. So I mean, I don't know. Something just wasn't right with that. Do your man Gary Russell really want to see Javante Davis? I don't think in the late rounds he can live there. All right. Yeah. Yeah, bruh. Yeah. He really want to fight Javante Davis. I can seriously vouch for that. He really does. He really does want to fight Tank. There's no question. You know what I mean? If it's one person on this earth that he want to fight, is him. So all I can say is this: let's hope and pray somehow, some way they put it together, and the whole DMV got to come out. You know what I mean? But yeah, he really does. That's not an act. He wants to fight him. That mad. You know what I mean? Like every time I see him, that's one of the first things he say. He definitely that's not the act. He does. He does. He said he wasn't on the juice. Who wasn't on the juice? Canelo. Canelo wasn't on the juice. I don't know. I don't know. That would be the fight of the year. It'd be the biggest fight for this area. It'd be the biggest fight for this area. Tank not ready for that hand speak. He just better not get caught. You know what, man? Whatever happens that night, it's a win-win for the DMV. You know what I mean? We probably gotta go to Baltimore. We probably got to go to Royal Farms. We probably got to go to Royal Farms Arena. But yeah, that's the fight. That's the fight for the DMV, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's the fight for the DMV. He said Billy Joe has been linked to PEDs. So it's Canelo. So it's Canelo. All right, for everybody we got in here, I'm gonna ask y'all something. Since we talking about PEDs, since we talking about PEDs, we got to go to Baltimore. We're gonna have to go to Baltimore because Tank's gonna be the A side. He's gonna be the A side. There's nothing we can do to get Tank not being the A side. He's gonna be the A side if he fights that guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He's gonna be the A side, man. It's too small. The MGM is too small. You know what I'm saying? The MGM is too small. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They definitely not gonna do it there. It's too small. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of the local fighters haven't fought there. It's too small. That's why they be fighting at George Mason and things like that, because they say the MGM's grand don't sit that many people. It's really not that big. Like the thing about that MGM is it's no bad seats. It's no bad seats in there. Like you can see the whole fight from there. Regis Prograde is 140. Hold on, we moving too fast now. You don't took Tank all the way to Regis. You know what I'm saying? Tank can't make 130 his head too big. Hey man, hey man, hold on, hold on. All right, listen. First, let's get before we get. Oh man, oh god. um, listen. I like Tank, but we got to see what's going on. That whole division, that whole 135 division is a hot mess. Is a hot mess. Like they put up something earlier this year and said these are the four kings: Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, and Tank. Then you also had to the side Lomachenko and a few others. But the thing about it is, what do we got? Tank is not even fighting anybody at 135. Linares, Devin Haney is fighting Jorge Linares. Ryan Garcia is on vacation, and Teofimo is fighting a keep busy fight. How did we get here? But you really like Tank like that, huh, James? I'm saying this. Tank can't beat Regis at 140. I don't know about 140. Can we get the fights at 135 first? I like Tank. Let's just break this down. I think Tank got a lot of power, a lot of quickness. His boxing skills are underrated. But at this point, we got to see him in the ring with one of the other young lions. You know what I'm saying? We got to see him in the ring with one of the young lions. You know what I mean? Or one of the veteran lions like a Gary Russell. That is right now. That is a beautiful fight. But to be honest with you, the fact that he's fighting his next fight at 140 pounds may make it a little bit harder. He's working on that, George. He's working on that. You know what I'm saying? He's trying. See, the thing about Gary and a lot of fighters is, this is the thing. Here's what we all got to help out. For all these fighters that we want to see. Here's for all these fighters we got to see. You know what I'm saying? Or we want to see. We got to support them, guys. We got to support them. Like even if it's just, when they post something, like, show, you know what I'm saying? We gotta support them somehow, some way. We gotta show people that we really actually behind these guys, because people they lowball them the money offers, and these fighters don't really want to fight them. Does Tank move his feet? He gonna do how he gonna do them slick box like that, bro? That's a good question. We gotta see it. That's what I'm saying. We gotta see it. That's a very good question. You know what I'm saying? We got to see it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. The time is now. It's too many. Anybody know? They all got fights coming up. They all got fights coming up in the pipeline. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I do got an interview coming up with all of them fairly soon. So some of these questions that y'all asking about the Russell brothers and Gary and all them, we can be able to get to. You know what I'm saying? But they all working on fights and things like that. I can't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I let them make their own announcements and all that. But they all got fights coming up and things like that. Oh yeah, because they listen. Yeah, they nice. They looking good in the gym and everything. Like I said, I will keep y'all posted. You know what I'm saying? I will keep y'all posted on that. You know what I mean? So, I kind of had to take care of a few things before I got back to them, but I'm ready to get that, and I will keep y'all posted. And when these interviews come, y'all know where we gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? We report what we see. That's why we keep falling for the fake out entertainment. No, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm gonna be honest, man. People just love combat. People love combat sports. People love boxing. People love action. So if they can't get the type of fights that they want to see, which is not hard, you know what I mean? I don't think you don't necessarily got to see, because some of these fights that everybody crying for are not gonna live up to the hype. Let's just be honest. They're not gonna live up to the hype. Some of these fights stylistically don't make good fights. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to see is competitive fights. We want to see action fights. We want to see competitive fights. So long as we got two fighters that's somewhat on the same level in the ring, I think we'll settle for that. Because some of these fights not going to be good fights. Some of these fights, we're going to go through all of that. We're going to go through all of the hoop-ha, and then when the fight happens, you're going to be like, oh my God, we waited for this. Because, like, I'm going to be honest for all y'all to know. Like, the fight that we all crying for, the one that we all clamoring for, the fight that we all clamoring for, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Triller is the future. Go mix popular culture with boxing to bring in new fans. I love Triller. I love Triller. I love Triller. I love what Triller doing. Triller is coming in to try to make the pot hot. But with the pot is only gonna get hot for those that ain't playing the game. But like I was trying to say is a lot of these fights, like be honest, like when Bud finally fights, I think it's gonna happen next year. But when Bud finally fights Earl Spence, it's not gonna be that exciting of a fight. It's not. It's gonna be a chess match. It's gonna be more of a chess match. It's gonna be more of a boxing match than it is gonna be a war. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see them. I, I don't see it being that. You know what I mean? I don't see it being what we think it is. It's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be Hearns. It's not gonna be Hearns Hagler. It's not gonna be Hagler Sugar Ray. It's not gonna be Hearns. Hearns Sugar Ray. It's not gonna be that. I don't think it is. I hope it is. We want it to be, but I don't think it is. Some of these fights just not gonna be exciting. You know what I mean? I think this Ugas fight with Spence gonna be an exciting fight because Ugas really gonna come in there and try to whoop Spence and probably gonna get his block knocked off in the process. But at least it'll be an exciting fight. It'll be something to be like, yeah, yeah, okay. That's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Bud need to get this fight on with Shawn Porter or Virgil Ortiz, who I don't think is ready, but he come to fight. He think he can bang. They think he can rock with Bud. Let's get it. You know what I mean? So that way Bud can get out of this top rank contract, become a free agent, go sign with Triller, or be independent, do whatever you got to do. I agree they both too concerned about looking good instead of I just think stylistically it doesn't. Ugas is my dude. He tough. Yeah, I like Ugas too. You know what I mean? I like Ugas too. I was mad at him, last summer when I thought he had a chance to I thought he had a chance to get the Bud fight, but he chose to fight this dude Ramos for that vacant WBA, belt. But hey man, yeah. But I definitely like got both of the boys up in here. What's up? Boxing DC, man. They all up in here today, man. Ugas. I'm be honest with y'all, man. I got spent stopping Ugas. You know what I mean? I think he gonna stop Ugas. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think Earl gonna make a statement that night. You know what I'm saying? He did beat Porter. He did beat Porter. And he earned the fight. I remember I caught myself. I was one of them. I caught myself saying that Ugas got a belt without thinking about what he actually did. He actually did beat that Shawn Porter that night. So he is a real world champion. So he deserved his seat at the table. He beat Omar Figueroa. He beat Ugas. I mean, he beat Shawn Porter, and then that guy. He actually has a chance against Spence. I don't think Earl going to stop him. I do. And I love Ugas, bro. I love Ugas. I talked to Ugas a few times over this, like during the pandemic. I used to talk to Ugas all the time. So I mean, he's a real cool dude. I like the guy. I'm voting for him, but I swear, I think Earl gonna stop him, man. I just think he's tailor made for Earl. You know what I'm saying? I think he's tailor made for Earl, and I like the guy. You know what I'm saying? I really do like Ugas a lot, man. It's not look, he come to fight. He's willing to fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, I just think Earl stylistically is just a bad matchup for him, man. I really do, man. I mean, listen, I don't want him to get knocked out. I don't want him to get stopped. I hope he can come make a good fight and then go on to have a more big fights. I really like Ugas, but I really don't think I think Earl gonna crash his world that night. I really do. I think Earl gonna crash his world. And speaking of that, I think Keith Thurman need to fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? I think Keith Thurman need to fight Boots when he come back. No Keith Busy fights. No disrespect, but no Andre Bertos or nothing like that. He need to come straight back to Boots. You know what I mean? Other fighters have done it. Other fighters took 2 years off and took time off and came back and fought champions and contenders. He can do it. You know what I mean? Every time you take time off, you need to come back and fight no up and comer. No Keith Busy fight. He need to get in there with Boots And I need Boots to go ahead and take that fight because then once Boots go ahead and take care of somebody like a Keith Thurman or Shawn or something like that, then he's already in the mix. The welterweight division got too many fighters for us to be watching Keep Busy fights or stuff or tune-up fights. We got the welterweight division is 10 fighters deep. It's 10 fighters deep. I don't think in my lifetime, I'm trying to think, I don't think I ever seen a division with these many fighters that right now, you know what I mean? He doesn't want that kind of, I wouldn't move. Ooh, Thurman, sometimes Keith Thurman. Hey man, he said he want to get back. He said he want to get back. He called out Bud. He called out Earl. All right, if they busy, let's get Boots. Let's get Boots. If you can't get, since he said he's willing to fight Earl or Bud fresh off his comeback, then he can fight Boots. Then he can fight Boots. I want to see. I want to see sometime. He got to show me something. Now look. I already told people, man. Look. Keith Thurman got to prove it to me. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman got to prove it to me. Thurman hasn't won a fight in 2 years. Fight anyone. Hey, fight Boots. I want Thurman and Boots. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want Boots. I ain't going that far. I like Boots a lot. I like Boots a lot. I mean, I like Boots a lot. Really, really, really cool cat. You know what I mean? Really cool cat. Really nice guy. I like everything about the guy, but I'm not going to anoint you till I see you actually in the ring with a Bud, with a Earl, or something like that. I'm not going to say that. I got to see it. I'm not saying he's not. I got to see it. You know what I'm saying? I got to see it. You know what I mean? Listen. All right, for everybody that's like, for Porter, Shawn Porter can get that pass. Shawn Porter can get that pass. You know why? Because Shawn Porter has fought everybody. Shawn Porter has fought everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's from Philly. Shawn Porter has fought everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I can see what Shawn Porter doing. Shawn Porter probably looking at it like, look, man, I don't fought Earl. I don't fought Danny. I don't fought Keith. I don't fought Adrian Broner. I don't fought Kell Brook. I don't fought Devin Alexander. I don't fought Paulie. I don't fought every welterweight that came through there except Bud. I ain't messing with that young boy right now. I can understand that. I can understand where Shawn coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I can understand that. Shawn Porter said, I didn't fight all these guys and stick around on this long to fight an up-and-comer to be his biggest night when I'm still trying to get myself right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can understand where Shawn coming from. You know what I'm saying? Right. The risk ain't worth the reward. That's what I'm saying for Shawn. That's what Shawn is saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what Shawn's saying. Shawn, when you know, for somebody like Shawn Porter, who's been in the ring with just about everybody, you name it, he's fought them. I can understand why he's saying, like, you know what, bro? On this particular case, no. You know what I mean? And we all know part of it is he see that young and hungry. Some of that he see that hungry young. That youngin is not to be played with. He boosts that deal. Boosts is that deal. I'm highly, but that's what I'm saying. We got all these young fighters. Boxing should be lit right now. Boxing should be lit. And it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess right now. I still love them. I'm not leaving them. I still love them. But it's a whole mess right now. It's a whole mess right now. So everybody that's still in here right now, put in your comment section right now. If it's one fight, we all get one fight. If it's one fight you can get right now, what would it be? What would be your one fight you want to be? And then when you put in there, tell me who you think wins and why. Let's go. Let's have some fun in here, man. I'm enjoying myself. You know what I mean? You get one fight. What's the one fight you want right now? You know what I'm saying? What's the one fight? Come on, talk to me. What's the one fight you want right now? What's the one fight you want? You know what I mean? If it's one fight you can get, what would it be? What would it be? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I don't even know which one fight I would want. You know what I mean? I think I still want Joshua and Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? What? Ooh. 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 You the I want him to fight a tune-up fight before he fight Fury though. I just want to see. I just want to see that he got it all together still. You know what I'm saying? Because after that knockout, you know, come on, man. Somebody pours him a drink. It was an egg weight in the gloves. I mean, I didn't want to see that from my guy. I didn't want to see that from my guy. You know what I mean? It's an egg weight in the glove and all that. I just want to make sure he got his burns about him. Come back, knock out Charles Martin real quick, then let's go straight to Fury 3. You know what I mean? Or I actually want to see him get Joshua first. I think I know he'll knock Joshua out. I don't think I know. I know he'll knock Joshua out. You know what I mean? And that's another thing about Eddie Hearn. That's another thing about Eddie Hearn. See, let's be honest. He didn't think Joshua was ready for Fury. That's why that fight didn't happen. There's nowhere in the world you're going to tell me you got 2 contracts signed for that type of money. Lomachenko and Tank. Hey, Sade. I ain't gonna front. Short, he was cutting up this weekend something terrible. Yo, I used to couldn't stand Tyson Fury. I swear I couldn't. I used to couldn't stand Tyson Fury. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Listen. This is what we dealing with, y'all. These guys are clowning. They clowning Bama's, man. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko and Tank. Some of the steam that came out of that fight now. Now that Teofimo did what he did to him. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. This boy that Lomachenko's about to fight, Nagataki or whatever, is not no easy fight. I'm actually shocked that Bob Arum is putting Lomachenko in this fight because it's clear he struggles with fighters with range and height. See what I'm saying? He struggled with Linares. He was able to come back and get the victory, but he struggled with Linares. You know what I mean? So now I'm saying Lomachenko got this next fight that Lomachenko got with the Nagataki guy is not no walk in the park. It's not no walk in the park because for those like somebody mentioned the MGM earlier, that Nagataki fought Teofimo at the MGM, and he gave Teofimo all kinds of problems. I mean, all kinds of problems. So if his range and height is something Loma is struggling with, this ain't the guy. I don't know. This is a weird matchup. I didn't think Bob Arum would throw him in there with this Nagataki guy. He's strong. He's long. I'm not gonna lie, man. Lomachenko in for a long night that night. You know what I mean? I want to see Loma get back in the sweepstakes as well because it just to keep things spicy. You know what I mean? But this next fight he got coming up with this Nagataki guy ain't gonna be no walk in the park. It's not no easy fight. It's definitely a fight that we all need to pay attention to because Loma's gonna be in one that night. Loma's definitely gonna be in that one that night. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that fight, that's the night that everybody when Teofimo fought Nagataki, everybody was like, I don't know, he might not be ready for Loma because that's how much problems the dude was giving Teofimo. He struggled that night. You know what I mean? To the point that the scorecards. Not saying Teo lost, but he went to the well that night. He had to go to the well that night. That Nagataki boy ain't no joke. He's gonna give Loma a rough night. He's gonna give a rough night. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. What other fights y'all want to see? What other fight? And speaking of that, we do got a good fight coming up. They did match and that's the thing. Through all this nonsense, we don't even realize Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez is gonna be a nice fight. That's a good one that's coming up. A fight that we all that I think y'all should, fry the chicken and check out. One that you ain't got to go through pay-per-view and all that. Be right there on regular TV. But like I say, that's gonna be a tough night right there. That's gonna be a good fight. Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. I don't know which way to go. I mean, Jose Ramirez looked like he had wrecked everybody he's fought, but Josh Taylor has also fought some dogs. He beat Regis. You know what I'm saying? He beat Regis, and I mean, they rumble. You know what I'm saying? So Josh Taylor can really rock. So I don't know. I mean, I'm a neutral on that one, but it's a fight worth watching. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I want to see Canelo versus Charlo or Boo Boo. Who Jamel supposed to be fighting? Jamel fighting. Okay, it's this guy Brian Castellanos that everybody's hyping up. You know what I mean? That they saying he's this and he's that, and Jamel ain't waste no time. Jamel going straight to him, and that's the thing about Jamel, man. And and that's the thing about Jamel though, Shorty. Jamel, look, for all those we bash a lot of fighters and people say this person doesn't give Jamel Charlo his roses, man. Whoever's at 154 that they said was this, then the third, he's tried to fight him. Either he tried to fight him or he fought him. You know, Banana, he fought him. Whoever, when Herb was the man, he tried to fight Jared Herb. Whoever was up there, Jamel, he signed to fight Boo Boo Andre. You know what I mean? The boogeyman, everybody say, but when it was time for Jamel to sign the fight, he tried to fight him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But let me answer this first question. Where's Jared Hurd? Jared Hurd is actually on the Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul undercard, along with Jaleel Hackett, who is part of this DC group with Bernard Hackett. Shout out to Bernard and Jaleel Hackett. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's actually on the undercard of the Floyd Logan Paul. So yeah, Jared Hurd will be fighting that night. Jared Hurd will be fighting on that night with them as well. So shout out to Jared Hurd, for being on the card and that. Me on the pay-per-view card, get some views, and hopefully you look good. Um, Lopez might be a hype job. I don't many champs who got knocked out in sparring want to be the best. They would may snap them possibly twice. You know what though? To be honest with you though, before we get back down to the other comments, to be honest with you, some of the roughest fights happen in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Some of the toughest fights happen in sparring. You know what I mean? It's been dudes that rock Floyd in sparring. It's been dudes that like Lamar Peterson broke what cracked one of Floyd's ribs in sparring. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes some of the rawest fights being sparring. That's why when people say Earl Spence did what he did with Floyd and all them fighters in sparring, don't take that lightly. Don't take that stuff lightly. Some of the rawest fights happen in sparring. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder gave Big Baby Miller a concussion in sparring. You know what I'm saying? So look, bro, it happens. It happens, bro. Some of the rawest fights happen in sparring. You know what I'm saying? Jamel versus a Kurt Grudgeman. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think the him fighting on the undercard of the Floyd fight is to get him back in the limelight so he can get that fight with Jamel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back. I'm coming to your second question too, Jacob. Getting knocked out though. We gotta confirm it though. We gotta confirm that. But even if he did get knocked out in sparring, he's world champion. He's world champ. He beat the guys in his weight class. Richard Comey, Lomachenko. He beat the guys he needed to be the guy to be where he at. So regardless if he got knocked out in sparring or not, he had somebody got knocked him out in the ring in the real fight. And right now the number one thing we got to do is get him in the ring. You know what I'm saying? We got to get him in the ring with Devin. We got to get him in the ring. And honestly, I still stand by out of all those guys in that weight class, I still stand by. I mean, or at around that weight class, I still feel that Teofimo, not Teofimo, Shakur. I think Shakur is. I think when it's all said and done, I think Shakur gonna be the better out of all of them. You know what I mean? I love that Shakur Stevenson. I like all of them, but something about Shakur stands out to me. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. He fighting a Luis Arias. I, I ain't laughing at you, Jared. I swear I ain't laughing at you. I love you. I swear. I love you, Jared. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's fighting the Luis Arias, not the toughest opponent in the world. They trying to work him. Azar, you gonna get me in trouble. You gonna get me in trouble. Listen, woo, it ain't what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, he's fighting Luis Arias. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably a fight that, they just trying to, work him back in. And then after that, to make sure he got his burns about him. I'm still, am I something? Speaking of Jared, I'm just going to be honest. Am I the only one that's still trying to figure out how J Rock beat him? I'm still not there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, you'll feel me? I mean, am I the only one that's still stuck? I'm still trying to figure out how in the world did you lose to J Rock? And I'm not saying J Rock not a good fighter, but I'm still trying to look at. You look at the people that J Rock fought. You look at some of the fights that he struggled in, and how Banana just walked right through him. It's like, what the world happened? How did that happen? I'm still stuck on how did Jerry Heard lose that fight? You know what I'm saying? You laughing my man out. I don't want to. I ain't want to, man. I ain't want to. I mean, it's Jacob fault. He did it. He told me look that man up, man. He told me look that man up, man. All I was saying he was fighting. I couldn't remember who he was fighting. I didn't mean to do it. You know what I'm saying? Her had a lot of openings. I'm trying to figure out how did J Rock win that fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest. Okay, okay. I had a partner that was working that fight with them that night. I had a partner that was working that fight that night. And I stayed home because I was like, man, he gonna smoke J Rock. I ain't going down there for no J Rock, man. I'm tired. And then I'm looking at the fight. I'm like, what in God's name is going on? It was more than a bad night at the job. It was more than a bad night at the job. Not just for him. It was like I was stuck. I'm sorry, y'all. And I mean, I love Jared and I love his peoples and all that. But that's yes. What in the world was his corner doing that night? I done seen some things in my life in boxing, but I've never seen a corner blind their own fighter. They took a jar of Vaseline and smeared it in his eye, and he was literally blind for a half a round. I've never seen that before. I've never seen nobody do that to their own fighter. Not I seen them try to do it where you put it on your fighter's glove or did some crazy stuff so you can do it to other fighter. But I never seen nobody blind their own fighter. I never saw that before. I had never seen that before in my life. But that one round, it was right when Jared was starting to get the fight back, and his corner took a jar of Vaseline and smeared in his eye. And they couldn't really tell him, yeah, you're right. Y'all both right. But still, for J-Rock, why we going through all that for J-Rock, though? I said it was Mel. But not J Rock. I'm sorry. J Rock wasn't. No, I'm sorry. He's a decent fighter at best, but he wasn't that. He was not supposed to come here and do that. And we had to listen to Gilly. We had to listen to Gilly all night. We had to listen to Gilly all the next week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they did. They slept on J Rock. They really did. I did too. Like I said, man, me and my partner was supposed to work the fight together. I stayed home. I said, I'm not coming down there for no J Rock. Yes, definitely. RIP to his pops. You know what I mean? Good brother. You know what I mean? Good brother. You know what I'm saying? He got hurt for the first time and it scared him. But see, that's the thing. The thing about that though was up until that night, like he had been behind on the card before. He's behind on the cards on Tony Harrison. He's behind on the cards with Andrade Law. He was behind on the cards on Austin Trout. So we seen him get behind on the cards against better fighters and found the way to get it done. He walked down Austin Trout. He's the only man that stopped Austin Trout. You know what I mean? So we seen him do it. That's why I'm still perplexed. Like you walk down Austin Trout, you walk down Erzlandi Laura, But you lost to J-Rock? You know what I'm saying? It ain't adding up to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't think so? You don't think so? Okay, again. But what stopped him from imposing his will on J-Rock, though? That's what I'm saying. It just, like I said, it must have been a fighting at home. Fighting at home. Probably took a couple of, that sometimes that home life, that sometimes that home life be a little too much. Some nights when you would have been somewhere else, you know what I mean? You out of town where you just go to camp and go home or sleep wherever your quarters at, whatever when you're on the road. But when you're home, you might hang out a little longer. You might get that plate that you from Ma that you wouldn't normally get. You know what I mean? So it may have been the home cooking may have got him too. He may have just been a little too lax, came out there with the Redskin band and all that. You may have had a little bit too much home cooking. Sometimes it's best to be on the road. Sometimes it's best to just go ahead to get away and then, fight your fight. Because, that home cooking get you messed up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been that. But, Okay, what else we got? We hot and heavy here. What? Yeah. Like I said, man, I just didn't see that from J Rock. I'm sorry. I didn't see that from J Rock. I seen plenty of J Rock fights, and there was nothing that jumped off that was like, oh, my man Hurd gonna be in trouble tonight. I just didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. But, it took a lot out of him. He still hasn't not completely, hopefully this Lewis Arias fight has hopefully this fight, hopefully the Lewis Arias fight he get back out there, look sharp, look crisp, and then we can get him in there with Mel, you know, and hoping that that Mel continue his success because that's the fight I wanted all along. Before the J Rock situation and the Tony Harrison situation, all along, all I wanted was was Mel and Jared Hurd. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to see that fight. So hopefully they both look sharp in the next fight and we can get that. And that's the crazy thing about it because see, listen, Mel was willing to do the fight in the DMV. Don't do the fight in the DMV. You don't do nothing in the DMV. Don't do it. But but Jamel was definitely he came to the DMV. He was here that night. The fight at the MGM Grand that Herb was there, Jamel was there. He came here to the DMV. See what I'm saying? So that's what's up. That's why we love how Two Shop did his career. He stayed away from home. Yeah, sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta do it, man. Something about the DMV, man. Them boys cannot come home. You know what I mean? It's hard, man. You know what I mean? Lamont last fight didn't go too well at the MGM. You know what I mean? Shout out to him though. He was a great champion. Fought who he fought, took on all comers, man. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we still got some stuff coming up. We still got some hot stuff coming up, man. This definitely was a wonderful, 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 wonderful day, man. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all in the boxing DC group, man. What else y'all got out there, man? What else y'all got out here, man? You know what I mean? What's pressing? What you want to chop it up about? You know what I mean? Who should Benavidez fight next? Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo. That's who Benavidez should fight next. Jamal Charlo. Or Edgar Berlanga. But realistically, Jamal Charlo should be next. You know what I mean? That fight right there, them Jamal Charlo and the Benavidez fight could put him either one right there in the Canelo sweepstakes. Because that's what they're ultimately trying to get to. They're trying to get to whoever the big man is. Charlo already said he don't want that. But see, he called them out. That's the problem we got with Jamal. That's the problem we got with Jamal right now. You know what I mean? That's the problem we got with Jamal right now because see, you called that man out. You tried to get him on the live. You said you're gonna break his neck and all this other stuff right there, and then next thing you know, it didn't happen. Now I think what I know happened, and this is one of the cases where I can think Al got on the phone and said, "Hold on, we're not doing that," because I just think I think Al didn't want Benavidez to fight him just yet. You know what I mean? Nah. People listen. People be misconcepting what Mel be saying. Listen, he ain't gonna throw his own brother under the bus. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do you think Manny really want to fight again? I think Manny just want a bag. You know what I'm saying? I think Manny just want a bag and he just want to do what he got to do to make some money and get up out of here. Nah, Benavidez 168. Benavidez and Belonga at 168. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Benavidez and Belonga, they both at 168. You know what I'm saying? They both at 168. So look, see, that's the thing. See, Canelo said he only want the champions. That's why he going to Caleb Plant. But there are fighters in that pipeline. But let's talk. Wait a minute. Why we on Belonga? Why we on Belonga? To me, everybody want to say that I'm crazy, but to me, Demond Nicholson exposed some stuff in Belonga that night. For those, if y'all watched the fight, to me, I thought that fight went a little too shaky. You know what I mean? Because two of them knockdowns wasn't knockdowns. The first two knockdowns was fake. You know what I'm saying? That swung the scorecards all crazy. Them first two knockdowns were knockdowns. Now that one in the last round, that was legit. That was real. But that's because Demond was actually trying to win the fight. And I thought in that last round, I want to look at the fight again. It looked like he buzzed Belonga like once in that last round, right before Belonga knocked him down for real. But again, that fight was a lot rougher than we expected. You know what I'm saying? A lot rougher than we thought it would go. So like I said, to me, I think Belonga's there for the taking. You know what I mean? So if Bob would let him come dance, that'll be a good fight for Benavidez. Belonga, they both young. Benavidez ain't but like 21, 22, 23, something like that. Belonga around the same age. Two young, strong knockout artists. Put him in the ring. Yep. Not matter of fact, not only the end of his first round knockout streak, he didn't get a knockout at all. That thing went the distance. You know what I'm saying? They went the distance. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's an excellent fight. Belonga versus Benavidez, no reason why they can't dance. You know what I mean? Demographics add up. I'm pretty sure Bob wouldn't mind doing that. You know what I mean? Because of the demographics. I don't think that'll be advantage. So that's another fight he should be able to get into and go ahead and rock and roll and do his thing, man. What's up, Well Connected? Shout out to the Black Eye Media Room. That's gonna take a while. What else they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Benavidez about to fight a Keep Busy fight. Yeah. But see, you right. Because they need to do a co-promotion. You right. But the heat is on. The heat is on with all that stuff right there, man. Bob better look up and smell the roses, bro. Cause let's look at something. The Zone just lucked up and got this Canelo fight. Because he had Billy Joe. But now that Fury fight has fell through, what major fight does the Zone got coming up? Unless they find a way to get another Canelo fight. But what other major fight they got coming up this year? You know what I'm saying? What other major fight do they got? They don't got nothing. After Ramirez fights Josh Taylor, what does Top Rank got? See, so this fight might happen sooner than later because they're going to have to do something to create a buzz. Because we need to get people in the building. They saw 65,000 people. They got 65,000 people in Dallas Stadium for Canelo. It's time to get hot. Whoever AJ fight. Now the question is this: since AJ not fighting Fury, is he fighting Alexander Usyk? Is he gonna fight Usyk? That would be a major fight, but is he gonna fight him? See, you know what I mean? And y'all, listen. We should listen. All I want to do is see competitive fights. I don't care who, about none of that. I just want to see a competitive fight. Well, here's the thing. They kind of set up so he wouldn't be as mandatory no more, so this Fury fight can go through. So they was kind of like get him to step aside type of thing. So the question is, does he go back to being the mandatory? You know what I mean? Oh, I just thought about a fight that I want. Now we think about that, I know a fight I want. I want to see Deontay Wilder fight Dillian Whyte. I'm tired of him. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired of him. See, before I come on Facebook, before I do anything, man, I go to Twitter first, then I go to YouTube. I look at everybody's pages. I listen to all their shows and hear their thing. The UK side think everybody's scared of AJ and Dillian Whyte. I don't know why, but they just think everybody's scared of AJ and Dillian Whyte. Let me newsflash for all those that don't know. You know what I mean? Newsflash to all that don't know. Nobody's scared of AJ and nobody's scared of Dillian Whyte. Nobody's been scared of them. These dudes on the other side of the pond just want their pay. They just want to get paid the right way. You know what I mean? If you're going to take me over there and you're going to put me in front of this great big massive crowd, pay me like I weigh. But nobody's been scared of AJ since the Klitschko fight. Let's just be honest. Nobody's been scared of AJ since the Klitschko fight. Nobody. That Klitschko fight, even though he won, showed you everything you need to see. Showed you everything you needed to see about him. See what I'm saying? And then if whatever you didn't see in the Klitschko fight, I know you saw in the Andy Ruiz fight. Nobody's scared of AJ. And he's better than Dillian Whyte. So I don't know why they think everybody's scared to fight Dillian Whyte. No, he don't offer them nothing. He got sparked by a 43-year-old Povetkin. Exactly. And then he came back and beat Povetkin, but they leave out the fact that Povetkin had COVID in the process of getting ready for the rematch. And everybody would say, well, that ain't no big deal. Listen, let me tell you something. That's probably why Ryan Garcia is sitting to the side for a little while too. Because, see, Luke Campbell had COVID in the process of getting ready for that fight. And he still was able to drop Ryan. And he's not even a puncher. And what people got to understand is this. COVID affects everybody's body different. But I know if you had COVID in your training camp, and as soon as COVID, your 2 weeks was up, you went straight back to training camp. Your body didn't get enough time to heal. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good chance that Luke Campbell and Alexander Povetkin's body wasn't up to snuff when they got in the ring with Dillian Whyte and those guys. So, but yeah, but when both of them wasn't in the pandemic, Alexander Povetkin put that man to sleep. I just want him to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder so he can go to sleep and we can be done with him. You know what I mean? Hey, get him out of here because I'm tired of hearing about Dillian Whyte. I mean, they love Dillian Whyte over there, and I do not know why. I absolutely do not know why. You know what I'm saying? Oh, another fight I want. Legend fight. Triller, Mike Tyson put this fight together. When they do their Hall of Fame exception thing, I want to see Ann Wolfe and Layla Ali. I want to see Ann Wolfe and Layla Ali. That's a exhibition legend fight I want to see. Put that together, Mike Tyson, Layla, and Ann Wolfe. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So Layla can go ahead and put an end to that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But all right, y'all, it has been a wonderful, wonderful show, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that was in here. Shout out to the Boxing and DC group, man. We do this, and no matter what, we do this every Monday at 3 p.m., man. And like I said, we got some hot interviews coming up. Got some more stuff coming up, man. We're just gonna keep working and building, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Appreciate y'all so much, man. And we gonna be Hey, we're gonna be fussing about something later on tonight in the group. We're gonna find something to fuss about tonight. But shout out to y'all, man. Be blessed, man. Appreciate you. We out. Team Lonely Child. One.